As I sat down in this vomity-looking chair in the lobby, I got Jane Gallagher on my mind. I got her on, and I just couldn't get her off. Jane Gallagher was one girl that I got to know very intimately. There was nothing physical about it, but we did see each other almost all the time. Well, you never do have to get too sexy to get to know a girl. This is how I met her. Her dog seemed to always be relieving itself in our front lawn. That got my mom very irritated. My mom even called her mom to make a big fuss of it. My mom always seemed to be making such a big fuss of those kind of things. A couple days later, I saw Jane at the swimming pool at the club, and I said hello to her. I had known she had been my neighbor for quite a while now, but I never really talked to her much of anything, actually. I had one hell of a time trying to convince her that I didn't give a goddamn where the dog relieved itself. Hell, it could come into my living room and relieve itself for all I care. Anyways, after that chat, we became good friends. We started playing golf and tennis together in the afternoons. Jane was a really funny girl to talk to, but I wouldn't say she was strictly beautiful. She did have some flaws that really just killed me. I would have to say that Jane was very muckle-mouthed. Do you know what I mean? Like, when she starts talking, it's like she gets very excited about something. Then her lips and everything start moving in 50 different directions. That drove me insane. And her lips, they never shut. They were never closed together, no matter what she was doing. My mom did not like the idea of me being friends with her too much. She thought Jane would even just be snubby if she didn't even say hello to her. Mom didn't even think she was pretty. I did, though. I liked how Jane looked. This one evening we were playing checkers out in the rain in her porch, when suddenly her booze hound of a father came out, asking where his cigarettes are. But Jane had no response. He asked again, and still no response from Jane. They finally went back inside to continue his search. I asked Jane what the hell was going on. Then she suddenly started to cry. Her crying was beginning to bother me, so I decided to go sit beside her and cuddle with her just to make her feel better. Then I got the urge to kiss her a couple times around the face, her nose, her eyes, forehead, cheek, everywhere but the neck and lips. That's the closest me and Jane have ever gotten to doing anything physical. Jane and I always were holding hands. I found her to be very terrific to hold hands with. With Jane, we didn't have to worry about her hands getting sweaty or anything. Like as soon as we get into the movie theaters, she held hands with me and will not stop until we were finished done watching the movie. All I really need to know is that I was happy. And I really was. So anyways, that's all I was thinking about the whole time I was sitting down. Good old Jane. But then you think about her with Strad later in that car. I knew it was impossible for him to get into first base, but just the very thought of it drove me crazy. I needed to get out of the lobby. It was becoming very depressing. I even noticed all the blondish whores were gone. I decided it was time for me to get the hell out. I decided I was going to go to Ernie's nightclub. It was a nightclub my brother showed me a couple times before he prostituted himself in Hollywood. As I stepped into the cab, it smelled like somebody had just thrown cookies into it. It was very disgusting. I struck a conversation with the cab driver, His name was Horwitz. He was much more better than all the other cab drivers I've had up here in New York. Anyways, I began to wonder if he would know anything about the ducks.
Hey Horwitz, you ever pass by the lagoon near Central Park?
The what?
The lagoon. You know, where the ducks are in that little lake?
Yeah, what about it?
You know how the ducks are always swimming there in the springtime and all? Well, I was wondering, by any chance, would you know they go in the wintertime?
Where who goes?
The ducks, you know, in the wintertime. I mean, like, does somebody come around picking them up in a truck or something and take them out south? Or do they just fly, you know?
How the hell should I know? How the hell should I know a stupid thing like that?
Well, don't get sore about it or anything.
Who's sore? Nobody's sore.
He was getting pretty touchy about it, but then he started the conversation up again, but then just turned it all around.
The fish, they go no place. They stay right where they are. Right in that goddamn lake.
The fish? That's different. I'm talking about the ducks.
What's different? There ain't nothing different about it. It's just harder for the fish in the winter than it is for the ducks is all. For Christ's sake. Use your head, for Christ's sake.
Okay, well, what do the fish do when the ice is frozen and all? I mean, like, there's people skating on it. What do the fish do?
What the hell you mean, what do? They stay in the water, for Christ's sake.
Well, they can't just ignore the ice. They just can't ignore it.
Who's ignore it? Nobody is ignoring it. They live right in the goddamn ice. Their bodies freeze in the water and they stay in the right position they were in throughout the whole winter. Alright? For Christ's sake.
Well, what do they eat then? I mean, like, their body's frozen and they can't swim around for food. So what do they eat?
Their bodies, for Christ's sake. Their bodies taking the nutrition from all the seaweed and crap in the ice. What's the matter with you? They got their pores and stuff to get that stuff into them. You know what I mean? God damn it!
He was becoming so damn touchy that I just decided to drop the whole conversation. I was beginning to be afraid that he was going to crack the whole damn taxi or something.
Oh. Hey Horwitz, would you mind stopping with me at a place, maybe grab a few drinks? I ain't got time for liquor, bud. How the hell old are you anyways? Shouldn't you be at home in bed? I'm not tired. Listen, you was a fish. Mother Nature would take care of you, right? You don't think a fish would just die in the winter, you know? No, but you're goddamn right they don't.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk,